Hello there, I'm Lester Lote, and I saw Wonder Woman in the cinema the other day. I'm going to start off by saying that the previous DC EU films haven't been all that great. I mean, some people like them, but for me, nah. Man of Steel is boring, is dull. I give that a laze it. Batman vs Superman is disappointing, and it's dumb. There's lots of dumb stuff. Blaze It. Suicide Squad. It's just a mess. Just a mess of garbage. Blaze It. So, the bar's pretty low for Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman, it vaulted the bar anyway. It's good. I said it's good. By a thesaurus. It's fantastic and enjoyable. Finally, DC have proved that they can do a film connected to this larger universe and not screw it up. And that's cause for celebration. And it also proves to Hollywood that female-led action movies and superhero movies can do well, so make more. That's it. If this does do well, which it should, it probably will, it's good. Go see it, support it. So what is there to like about it? Well, I've written some things down on my piece on my pad, on my notes. I really liked the action. It was very good. Lots of slow-mowing about, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I observed. There's an awful lot of slow-mo. But, I think it worked. It was good. Good. Stop saying good. The actors, I enjoyed them all. Gal Gadot, I think that's how you are supposed to pronounce it. After Dawn of Justice, I wasn't sure about her acting ability. I haven't seen her in anything else, and I was like, I don't know. But after this, I'm convinced she was really good in this. Really good. I've said good again. She was. I've writ she was fantastic. I always write better words than good, but I say good. But yes, fantastic. So I guess it was just the writing in Batman vs Superman. I haven't actually seen that for ages. I complain about it a lot. I've only ever seen it the once in cinema. I should see it again so I can, back up my complaints. It's been like a year. But I just don't want to. It's just not very enjoyable. But what was I saying? Chris Pine. I don't think I've seen him in anything else either. But he was act, and everyone else was fine as well. But those two stood out, Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, as the two main characters, I guess. Some top-notch acting. Etta Candy is a character in this film. Enjoyable to watch, funny, some comic relief. But what a stupid name. Etta Candy. Like, I ate a candy and it was nice. Stupid. I know that's what she's called in the comics, but stupid. The villain I enjoyed a lot, but I'm not going to talk about that at all until right at the end. Spoilers, that is, lots of spoilers. The Wonder Woman theme, very nice. Something a few people will probably point out is the similarities between this film and Captain America the First Avenger. There are lots, I won't go into them, but just you can have a look, and there's plenty. But one thing I will say that this film did better, I preferred, was the portrayal of war as quite brutal. And you know, war is quite brutal. I feel like First Avengers kind of glossed over the fact that, it's a war film, and they're all like, this is war and stuff, but they never really show any actual war going on, like people getting injured and stuff, I don't think. But in this you see like, you see like people come back with all injuries and stuff, and people getting killed. And there is actually, Wonder Woman fighting in the thick of it. I appreciated that, actually showing what World War One. This one, Captain America, was World War Two, but still, they're both, quite a brutal affair. Another thing I noticed Wonder Woman did better than another film. I thought it did a team up better than Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is a team up movie, and the teaming up was just a small part of Wonder Woman. But there's these dudes, Chris Pine, Steve Trevor goes, "Hey Wonder Woman, come into this bar and I'll show you some friends." And he's like, "There's this guy and he's good at this, and there's this guy who can do this," and he explains them all. Their personalities are shown and their skills are shown, and then during the film they show off their skills, and it all goes. Whereas Suicide Squad, it was unnecessary. Like, here's a guy who can do boomerangs. How many boomerangs did he throw in that movie? 3, maybe, max. And one of them has got a camera on it, and it doesn't even fly like a boomerang. It flies like a drone. Here's a woman who has a sword that traps souls. Ever gonna see that? Trap a soul? No. Here's a guy that can climb anything. How many things are we gonna see him climb? 1. And he uses a grappling hook. It's not really, you can give anyone a grappling hook and they could climb a building. Here's a guy who's real good at shooting, and he uses like a mask that just does all the lining up for him. I could do that if you give me that tech that he has, show him all the angles. Here's a guy that's a crocodile, and then right at the end they're like, "Oh, we haven't given him anything to do, he's just been sitting there. So here's a flooded hallway that you can swim in." So yeah, I've kind of gone off topic, but Wonder Woman was good and Suicide Squad was not. But this is the first DCEU movie that made me go, I want to see that. I want to see that again quite soon. So great. I hope Justice League's as good, or at least almost as good. I'd take mediocre at this point. But I'm giving Wonder Woman a praise it, which annoys me a little because it means I've given every film I reviewed this year a praise it. But I'm gonna be seeing Despicable Me 3 soon, probably. That's coming out, isn't it? That's probably not gonna get a praise it. What with all the minions, and they've gone for the missing twin brother storyline, which is stupid, and also the Emoji Movie. I have high doubts that will receive a praise it, but I'm not sure if I even want to see that. It's kind of like looking at Roadkill. If you pass Roadkill, you have a look, don't you? And it's like a kind of morbid fascination, morbid curiosity. And that's kind of the same thing with the Emoji Movie, but I have to pay to see the Emoji Movie. I don't have to pay to see Roadkill. It's not, if there was someone who had a business of squashing animals and then charging people to have a look, I wouldn't have a look, because it's not worth paying for a start. And also I don't want to encourage that business. That's not a business I want to be encouraging. And neither is the production of the Emoji Movie. I don't want to reward them for thinking that's a good idea and then actually going through with it. But if you want me to do the review, I will, so let me know. But know that it is at the cost of them receiving money. I'm not gonna illegally download it. Or should I? They probably deserve it, don't they? The Emoji Movie. Well, in conclusion, go and see Wonder Woman. It's very enjoyable. And you don't actually have to see any of the other DCEU films to understand any of this, really. Because it's set before them. And it's standalone. So go and see it. No excuses, unless you're, I don't know, extremely sexist or blind. It's got my recommendation anyway. So I'll see you next time on my reviews. Oh, I turned my camera off and everything, and I just remembered I didn't actually talk about the villain. Like I said I was going to talk about the villain, but I didn't. This is spoiler zone. This is spoiler zone. Don't, stop watching if you haven't seen the movie. Don't be getting spoiled. I'm warning you. Go and see this, then come back, and then watch this bit, alright? Alright. Throughout the movie, Wonder Woman is going on about Ares, god of war, who is the god of war, because there's this war going on, and she's like, right, find Ares, kill him, and then the war will stop. Everyone will just stop fighting, because he's the dude who's putting all the negative fighting feelings in everyone and making them want to kill each other. So, get rid of him, and then it's all good. And she concludes that Ares is this German military officer bloke who is certainly a bad dude. So, she spends all this time getting to him with her friends Steve, Trevor, and the other lunatics. She finds him, she kills him, and the war's still going on. And she's like, what's going on around? What's going on? I've offed him, and the war's still going off. Something's not right here. But it turns out he wasn't the god of war, and this is the big twist. So if you're still here and I haven't seen it, go on. Ares turned out to be this British politician they encountered earlier, which is, it's not as ridiculous as it sounds. So, but he's got a British accent, and he's got like an uppity British accent, like old-timey old man. He's got this moustache going on. Ooh, how is it going? You know, that kind of. And you think that this is like some kind of disguise, and he's like, I took the form of this old man to get my war ideas out there into humanity. But no, that's just what he looks like. So he gets his armour on, which is really cool, his armour. Oh, he gets that on, and he looks really intimidating until he speaks. He's got an old British man's accent, and it zooms in on his face, and he's got the mask holes, and you see his moustache. A little bit weird. It was cool. I liked it a lot, but you had a British. You didn't. I mean, a British accent's good on a villain. I myself have a British accent, as am from Britain. But I felt like he needed like a really deep, gravelly voice, or booming, not old man, and you can see it's an old man behind the mask. Just, I thought he'd change form. That was the only thing. Final fight though, I thought it was really cool. It is a bit smashy, but it can be excused. because I actually I care about the main character, and also he poses. He's a good villain because the moral kind of thing, the moral conflict between him and Wonder Woman. There's kind of like the culmination of the thread that's been going through the movie, where she's like, humans are good, they've just been corrupted. But in reality, humans are garbage and they'll fight each other anyway. Oh, and they did that thing where it's kind of shown that the hero and the villain have like equal amount of power, or the villain has more power, and then you're like, well, how are they going to win then? And then emotional thing happens, and the hero's like, oh, the emotions give me strength, and then win. A little cheesy, but what can you do? Overall, good movie. Did it again. Good. Stop.